Let's get into it, y'all. The government shutdown. And no, I haven't forgot about the taken out of context. The government shutdown. I'm sloppy this time and forgot to share my screen. We're going to go to CBS today, not CNBC, but we're going to go CBS today to get started. All right. There we go. Here we go, y'all. Government shutdown. House GOP. Shout out to the Grand Old Party. New funding bill to avoid shutdown fails and fast track vote. Again, by the way, too, everyone who has been elected, they have not taken their seats yet. So, shout out to President Biden with all the things he's doing before he gets up out of there as far as the presidency. But this is still the current, Congress that we've had the last 2 years. We got House GOP funding bill to avoid shutdown fails in a fast track vote. Before we even get started for this, again, I don't read these articles ahead of time. Shout out to the new listeners. And by the way, one of these videos I did on if Trump can lower the grocery prices, I guess it's the last full video that I posted. Y'all going crazy in the comments. Okay, I can't respond to all of y'all, but I'm gonna do my best to at least like and favorite or whatever the hell it is. So that's good for the engagement. But y'all having your own conversation, and this is not my full time job. So I see y'all. I try to interact everyone, but when there are a whole bunch of posts like this, I'm saying it like there's 1,000 comments. It's like 30 or something. But that's a lot for me right now. It's 30 comments is a lot for Jordan and I right now. So whenever it goes crazy like that, it's gonna be first 24 hours or something like that. If you post, then I'll respond. But when it's 2 or 3 people post every now and then, I do my best to leave some type of feedback. But y'all just having a conversation, damn near like a Twitter thread, and I'm not gonna even hop in it because that's what I want y'all to do. We want y'all to do that. Have a conversation in the comments. Let us know what you think about the video. That's why I say it every damn time, right? But also, what I was gonna say though is, when are we gonna have a conversation about not allowing so many things being put into one quote unquote bill? Like, if I order a burger, it's like our food. Right? Shout out to RK. But it's like our food. Why are there so many? Is this cow? Is this a cow? Is it a single cow? Is it pig? What is it? These bills, when they're at that over 1,000 pages, it's like y'all didn't read all of this. Now you'll probably read it individually, but then it's mixing it all together. Isn't that what we complain about? What they do with the food? They just put all the cows and all the pigs and everything just in one place, and they just mush it all together, and then boom, you got your meat at the grocery store. I think my biggest issue, especially when it comes to bills being passed, is that there are just so many things stuffed into the bill, and it's like, wait, why is it 1,500 pages? Why do there need to be 1,500 pages about extending, raising the debt ceiling, whichever one this is about? I'm not sure why the government is shutting down. Living in Maryland and being in the job field that I'm in, government shutdowns, it's just whatever. It's not going to shut down for good. They shut it down, they back pay the people, all this type of crazy stuff. It is what it is. All right, and this article is by Kia Hubbard and Caitlin Yeek. And again, December 14th. Okay, excuse me, December 19th, 7:50 p.m. House Republicans failed Thursday evening, which is right now, to fast track a measure to keep the government funded through a maneuver, that required a 2/3 majority, pushing the government closer to a shutdown. House GOP, shout out to that. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. House GOP leaders can still bring it up through regular channels by sending it through committee, and this would enable them to try again to pass it with a simple majority. But dozens of Republicans voted against the measure, while only 2 Democrats voted in favor. The final tally was 174 in favor, 235 against, and 1 present. Again, there's 435 people in the House of Representatives, so what, 2/3, 60, and then 240 votes they would need to get that passed. Lawmakers are racing to avoid government shutdown when funding runs out on Friday night. So that's tomorrow. So if you guys listen to this in real time when this drops tomorrow, then does it end? I guess it's Friday night at 11:59 p.m. Government's going to shut down right before Christmas. That's crazy. And remember, they're about to go on vacation or leave, whatever they take, as well, because we got the holidays coming up. The bill, which could keep the government funded through the spring and suspend the nation's debt limit for 2 years, will still need approval from the Democratic-controlled Senate. The White House has indicated that President Biden would not sign the bill. I'm not sure if they're saying a bill that would get changed because it got shut down. Anyways, the new deal would extend government funding for 3 months, suspend the debt limit until January 2027, and provide $110 billion in disaster aid. Is that disaster aid for what happened in North Carolina? Or not just North Carolina, but from the last situation that happened during hurricane season? Where is the money that FEMA's supposed to have for all these things? Anyways, we're not going to get too sidetracked about where all the money's going. Shout out to Doge. It also includes healthcare policy extenders, funding for rebuilding Baltimore's, yes, Francis Scott Key Bridge, and the renewal of the Farm Bill for 1 year. Shout out to the Key Bridge that went down. Shout out to 695. Not shout out to it, was sad. But if there's anything that I would say I'm well versed in, it's the Baltimore Key Bridge. I used to drive up, I used to work in Towson. Never took, I never headed east. I always did west. But regardless, yes, the Key Bridge is down. I remember when it happened. One of my best friends works across that part of the bridge, but he's okay. But anyways, he was confused why all his family members were hitting him up to make sure he was okay. And it's like, yo, the bridge went out. Anyways, when that happened, we were like, yo, are we gonna have to pay for this with our tax dollars at the state level, or are we gonna get federal, funding from this? But then we're like, damn, we screwed either way, because if they take state dollars or federal dollars, we got to pay, because we pay federal taxes too. It'd be, if you ever look at like a map during rush hour, being that Washington, D.C. and Baltimore are so close, they're less than an hour away from each other. During rush hour, you just see around 695, which is around Baltimore, which is what this Key Bridge that went out. That's the highway for that. And then 495, which is in Maryland and into D.C. and into Northern Virginia. And is it technically in D.C.? I don't think 495 is actually in D.C., but it's the loop around, the beltway around DC, and goes into Northern Virginia and Virginia and Maryland, and takes you through 95, all that type of stuff. If you look at that during rush hour, you'll just see like two big yellow and red circles that are just right next to each other, because, well, that's how close they are, but that's just how busy it is. But the Baltimore red circle, or the Baltimore Beltway in this case, part of it is gone due to the bridge. Now you can still go on that park, since the beltway turns east or west, however you want to look at it, but you'll get to a point where you can't take the that exit. And where I live at, as far as Anne Arundel County, when you are heading north to go to that bridge, you can either head west, which is not out, or what doesn't, it's not an actual bridge. When you head east, that's when you actually go to the Key Bridge, and is where I'm coming from, Anne Arundel County. When you're south of Baltimore, coming from Anne Arundel County off of 97, it leads you straight to that bridge. So the exit is just gone. You just see, like, if you look on the map, it's just like a real like red burgundy type color there to let you know that it's closed. So you can't even take that. And there are people, who live kind of right there, and like that'd be their main exit to sort of come, instead of taking the tunnel, the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel. If you're, familiar with Maryland, you understand all this stuff. If you're not, whatever. But you'll wait till I get back to the article. But they have to go essentially another route to either to the tunnel, or if they want, take the beltway all the way around, should be like another 30 minutes. So it would definitely be something like, hey, I'm not saying that it needs to be in this bill, but if y'all want to help us out, get this bridge back, that'd be a great thing. But I definitely think I guess the bridge going out happened first before the hurricane disasters. But I think the hurricane disasters definitely, in my opinion, need to be funded first. We're making do. More traffic in Maryland. Like, hey, it is what it is. The House